That's right. It is that time again. You know, you made it. You made it another week, and we made it another week too in our exploits. It's time for Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John.
That's us. We're here to just, tell you what's going on in our world. We are still in Hazard. Well, when you see this, we probably won't be in. No, we'll be home.
No.
We'll be in Madison.
I'm not sure where we'll be.
I think
Maybe
we'll be. No, we're going to be in Madison because we're going to do that Tuesday night.
No, but this is on Thursday.
What?
This is on Thursday.
Oh, we'll still be here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're watching it next week, then obviously you're not. Really?
Happy Easter, by the way.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter week. Here you go.
Cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking? Oh, I know what you're drinking. You're drinking this. So we're drinking two different things this time. In honor of where we're going, actually for my mother's birthday, or on my mother's birthday, we are going to the Kentucky Derby, y'all.
Yay.
It's going to be so much fun. In fact, I just talked to Luke at the office. Well, I got to tell him what it is. So this is Kentucky Derby.
Our new
Kendall
friends.
Jackson, our new friends at the
56. It's the exit
56 Wine and Spirits.
And they're great. We had some
Hazard
yesterday.
Great place. They've got a wonderful back room. It's not really a pool room, but they've got a great back room, and then a really great porch that overlooks I would call it a creek. Sometimes it's a river. Right now it's not angry anymore. So now it's a creek or a crick, and that's where they gifted us with this Kentucky Derby Kendall Jackson Red Cabernet. So that's what Dee Dee is having, and I am having. Wait, we didn't sip.
I did.
Oh,
I didn't miss that opportunity. I'll sip again though.
I am having. This is from their America's 47. You know what that means? Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. There we go.
It's a beautiful bottle, patriotic.
Beautiful bottle, patriotic. I signed a couple of bottles at the store yesterday, so if you are in the neighborhood and you're looking for this, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I wonder who distills that. That's really, really good. But it is bourbon, because it is here in good old Kentucky. So they were telling us a story yesterday. If you are a drinker of bourbon, then you know that the Buffalo Trace distillery was part of the flood.
Still is.
Still is part of the, so they're doing cleanup, which takes a very, very long time. But because of that, I think, what did he say? I'm not going to say the chain box pharmaceutical store, but there's a number of those, but there is one that was selling a bottle of Buffalo Trace for like $72. And the real price is, I think it's like $22.
Maybe 32.
No, I think it's $22 because I remember you saying, well, you thought they said 32, like they had jacked the price up $10. They jacked the price up from $22 to $72.
So the local
$50
folks were like advertising, well, I guess we're going to sell it to you for this.
Yeah.
Which is closer to the actual cost, and they sold like that, almost everything. Or maybe there's one bottle left.
So they're not going to, well, not anymore because we drank it yesterday.
Well, not just
us. Yeah, there was a bunch of us, like 6 of us.
A lot of folks were there. It was so much fun. Derek Bowling invited us, and he said, we want to gift you a wine, Dee Dee, and then John a bourbon. Even though I love bourbon and wine, but...
Together?
Well, no. It might be
in the same tummy. In the same tummy.
Yeah, but I love both. And they gave us a very special bottle. We couldn't even believe it. They gave us a bottle of Happy
Van Winkle. Now, I was unaware.
Oh, I was
totally completely unaware because, I come from, where was Rip Van Winkle? Where was the whole legend of Rip? I come from near Sleepy Hollow. Imagine that. Ichabod Crane and the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I don't remember where Rip Van Winkle was, but anyway, this is aged 10 years old Rip Van Winkle handmade bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, genuine old line sour mash.
Anyway, special.
There's a lot of words on here.
But this bourbon's great, the wine's great, everything.
A little closer so you can see what that is. So that, if anyone ever offers you a little of this, take it. Because my understanding is that if you go to a restaurant, you go to a fancy bar like in Indianapolis or in Louisville,
Lexington, he mentioned
Lexington, it's like $120 a shot. A
shot. A lot of
shot.
money for a shot.
It's a lot of money. So we are forever in your debt. We thank you so
It's a
very,
lot of money
very
for
much.
a glass. A lot of money for a bottle.
It's a lot of money for a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was just
that was so sweet.
bitching about $72 for Buffalo Trace, and yet this bottle is a lot.
But
It's a lot more than that.
Check out Exit 56, which, guess what? It's off of Exit 56 in
It's
Hazard.
called 56 Wine and Spirits.
And you can tell they have fun in there, and it's just a really good vibe.
And
you
fun.
go outside, and they're going to do music and that sort of thing, which is really smart.
Yeah, and we may, there's a it depends on timing and logistics, but they have, there's a poker game in the first episode of Earls of Perry where we need 2 poker tables. And they have that room there. We might. I don't know. It depends on timing, because we just need a room to play poker in for for the show. We just came. My goodness, I just had a great omelet,
a big breakfast,
a big breakfast, and also
you did an interview.
a side of bacon, which was. So good, so crispy, so wonderful, and homemade biscuits. You can tell they're homemade biscuits because what they were is what my family, you call it this, drop biscuits?
Mm-mm.
We call it a drop biscuit because you'd mix the batter, you'd mix the flour, rather, and then you'd reach in, you'd grab it and kind of make it like a meatball, and then you go, boom, like that. And it was a drop biscuit.
Well, they were made like moms and grandmas. But they're from this area, so I'm not surprised they taste exactly like moms and grandmas. And the gravy too. I had, oh gosh.
Ooh, that gravy looked good.
Gravy, and all of it. I don't care. I cannot turn down gravy.
And did you see the Boston cream pie or lemon meringue? I'm not sure what it was, but it had it was great.
It looked good.
We did not have, but I tell you what, it reminded me, Miss Linda at the at Elliston Place Soda Shop in Nashville. She makes the pies there.
Right. They're really
and
good.
I think you'd love, we're going to go have one of those, but at least a taste of it before we go. And then Miss Linda, I'll come back and report to you. But believe me, Miss Linda's not in any trouble. She's been making great pies at Elliston Place Soda Shop in Nashville. Gosh, I think for many, many years. Speaking of years, I have to issue an apology. I believe I said on Newsmax this morning that Frances was 94, but she's actually 84. She's 84. I just saw that come over your phone.
She doesn't look a day over.
Doesn't look a minute over 70.
64.
64.
She's great. And, she had a tough time because Frances Diner and a lot of places in Hazard, that's why we came here to try to help out locally in our country and in community that need it, and they sorely needed it. So, John's concert raised a lot of money, a lot more than I expected. And our friend Sean Stoltz brought Furman generators.
Yay! Thank you, Sean.
And we just had so many folks.
You found a great picture. Sean looks like he's on Tiger Beat magazine in that picture.
Well, he looks great, and when John has it on his page, so do I, and we're just getting around to it. And it's been a week and a day, but there's just so much going on, and we've had a great time scouting out locations. We're going to do that later today as well.
More of that today.
But Frances Diner.
I got my, see my shirt?
The Hazard football team
shirt. My Hazard football team shirt on. I don't have any pads on under it, though, so it bunches up in some places. And
we ended up at the 01 table at Frances Diner.
And we had
a ball at the goal line.
You saw that. You said, look, it's the
it's the 01 table.
It's one, but I think we're going to ask them if they could please put an O.
I bet they already did.
I bet they already did. Yeah, that was great. Even with a Sharpie.
Table.
Oh my
the O will turn into BO, but last night we went to the goal line and they had trivia night. Well, actually, we went there twice. Went there for lunch and went back for dinner, and we won. We won trivia night.
We won because she knows basketball.
True. That is true.
The first category was Disney princesses or something.
We got nothing. We didn't get anything right at all.
No, not a thing.
Yeah, and then it was NCAA basketball, and I just lucked out. It was just educated guesses. I knew.
You got every one of them right.
Well, I got every one of them right.
Like when did they first start airing was that one?
1969.
She said 1969. And I'm thinking, no, there's no way.
And then they talked about how many brackets, 6, because I'm used to the brackets. I love basketball.
I don't even know it's called a bracket.
Oh boy, you'll learn.
Oh boy.
Well,
I got all the Duke's questions right.
He did. They were pretty easy though. But the one wasn't. The one question wasn't.
Well, that was the bonus question.
Yeah, and that's how we won.
What does the P in Roscoe, and don't say it, the P in Roscoe P. Coltrane's name stand for? And only one person got that right, and that was me. Mm-hmm. I did ask who was Roscoe's sister, because she was the only one that ever used his middle name.
And people didn't know that.
People didn't know that. And then once they thought about it, they said, oh my God, that's right. That's right. That's who Roscoe's sister is. Do you know who Roscoe's sister is on the Dukes of Hazzard? Write it down in your comments. I think that'd be great. We're not going to give you the answer.
And also, John, do you remember whenever they asked what NCAA basketball coach won 2 tournaments for 2 different teams? And I knew that answer. Do you remember, honey?
Nope. I don't.
Said it several times.
Well,
and I explained who, and
I've watched. All
right, Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino.
Now I love Bobby Knight more, but Rick Pitino, he's a great coach.
Well, it was the right answer, and they said only one person got it, and there's probably 20 people playing, and only one.
But how am I going to miss
got it?
I was born. Well, here's why.
They were born in Kentucky. Sorry.
I was born in Kentucky, but I grew up in Indiana, and they're both huge basketball states. So I love basketball, and I want to turn onto it a little bit more, because he's really not experienced real basketball, like a real basketball game. And our friend Derek Bowling said, well, you're going to have to take my seeds for a game at Rupp Arena, and that is a wonderful place to watch a basketball game. So thank you, Derek, again. Great guy. Go visit Exit 56.
56 Wine and Spirits.
Mm-hmm. They're great. It's a lot of fun there.
Then
we got to go to Joe's Chicken.
Great place. I thought I had to climb in the window, though, because it's one of those places where there's a slide open window.
Yeah.
You can walk in. We couldn't find the door.
And the drive-thru's in the front.
It's more of a drive-by. I don't think you drive through it. I think you drive. And when I'm from New York, or at least in Massachusetts, if anybody's seen Anderson Bench, there's a drive-through liquor store, and basically, you can get milk and eggs and cheese, but you can get beer and wine and liquor too. And that's what maybe it was Cape Cod, Massachusetts, that I saw those. But so this was a drive-by, and he opened the window and said, hey, come on in. And I thought, well, hell, I got to climb through this window too. But no, there was a door. I got to use the door. It was great fun. We met a bunch of great people there yesterday.
Did you mention the old picture when you were here in the 80s at Francis Diner? That's pretty cool.
So the diner, Francis Diner, is one of those wonderful places that has old pictures of the community in the booths and on the wall and on the back of the menu. So remember, these are old pictures of the community from way back when. And in the middle aisle over the first booth, or first table rather, is an old picture of me. So like I say, you never feel quite as old as you do when you sign an antique that has your picture on it. So it was great. It was from the concert that we did back here in 1982 to help benefit the miners' families who had lost family members in the coal mining collapse. So it's good to do that. It's good to help out. What's going on in your community? And I asked on Facebook this morning when I post the pictures of Francis and of the diner that you took. Great pictures, by the way. I took the one of the food, but you took the...
Yeah, but John's such a great photographer. I'm barely making it, but here and there are good ones.
It's all about composition, right? But anyway, I asked people, I said, go around, these aren't just things and people and needs or successes that happen where we happen to go. We're not looking for specific needs or successes, really. We go to a place and we soak up what's happening there. We meet people, and then you invariably you wind up finding out some of the great things that are happening. So what's happening in your community? What would you like to put a spotlight on and underline and maybe, highlight and put on your Facebook page or one of your social media platforms so that you can brag on your community? we'll brag on your community too, but you live there. There's a tendency for people to overlook, for example, the beauty of this area. My gosh, it is so gorgeous. And I'll bet you, I said this as we were looking at locations a couple days ago, I said, I'll bet when people see the Earls of Perry, they're going to say, oh my God, that place is beautiful. Oh my God, that's my road. That's my street. So look around your place. Find some people that need an attaboy. Find some situations that need a spotlight on them so that the rest of the world can share in your love for your very own community. Why not?
And also when we met Miss Frances, she had mentioned, because she was having trouble hearing us, and she mentioned 3 times, she goes, I lost my hearing aids in the flood.
Yep.
The flood waters just took away her hearing aids. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we raised a lot of money here for flood victims. I would believe that's a flood victim. So we contacted the foundation.
Well, you did. You got right on it. She's right on it. Right on it.
I was going to...
Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky.
Yeah. So it's Appalachia, Kentucky, and they are so wonderful. And I have to say thank you to them again, because they really did a wonderful job, and they have guaranteed that the money, every bit of the money, is going to flood victims. But I'm thinking Miss Frances deserves to get some more hearing aids because she can't hear. And so they right away said, yes, we will do that.
We'll do that.
And then John had a suggestion of what kind.
Well, we watched Newsmax. Just did Newsmax this morning, and on Newsmax, I often see Joe Namath, one of the greatest football players of all time. Great! Oh my gosh, it was amazing, and he advertises for a certain kind of hearing aid, and on Newsmax. So I said, well, that just popped into my mind when she said she lost her hearing aids in the flood. Let's do that, and then Dee Dee got on it just like that. So
the foundation said absolutely, and so Miss Frances is going to get new hearing aids, and we let her granddaughter know, and she was very happy, and she's going to let her grandma know. So yeah, that's the stuff you're supposed to do in life, and so glad that the concert raised money to really help the flood victims.
Yeah, and this the great thing about it is that now Miss Frances will be able to hear how much the community appreciates her. Mm-hmm. Because there were a lot of people in there this morning. This is their first day. Is this Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Thursday. Yeah. So yesterday, when you're seeing this, we went yesterday morning. I know it's complicated, but that was the first day that they opened up since the flooding in February. And Happy, the mayor in Hazard, he said that a bunch of people had shown up to help clean out, because there's mud and sand and dirt and all kinds of mess, because she's right on the river. So the community showed up to help her, and I think it's important that she can hear people tell her that they love her. That's important. It's an important sentence to hear.
And what a nice mayor, too. Happy.
Oh, he's wonderful.
It's Mobilini, I believe how you say it. But everyone just calls him Happy. So what a great guy.
I've been calling him Mob.
And Mobilini is not a name you hear much in Hazard. I think John is even surprised when I said, look, there are a ton of Napiers. Every day we run into Napiers, don't we?
We do. We see a bridge or we see something dedicated to a Napier. It's great.
Or combs, couches, fugits.
Combs, couch, fugit.
Yeah.
Fugit or fugit?
Fugit. And but Mobilini, that's first. That's first one.
He said it's the only one. In fact,
yeah,
I think he said that they did like Ancestry.com and went back to Italy and didn't find any. So probably he thinks what happened, and I think this happened a lot when people came, legally through immigration through Ellis Island, and they had their accents. I can't die. That sounds like Dracula. Mm-hmm. They have their accents, and the people are processing thousands of people a day, and it was just they wrote down whatever they heard. So I bet it was Bobolini. Anyway, we're having a great time here. Wonderful time. We want to thank all the folks in Hazard, in the restaurants, on the streets, in the police departments, the fire departments, the folks at the Ford dealership. Oh my gosh, great. Been wonderful.
The Hampton Inn, Mr. Tim, Mike.
Mr. Mike, thank you.
We just told him, hey, John just mentioned you on
Newsmax
TV, and he was just thrilled.
Live from the beautiful parking lot at the Hampton Inn in Hazard, Kentucky. And Tim Short Ford, well, it's not just Ford, it's everything.
Yeah, he's got
I want to thank them.
We've got more on that for the next show, but really wonderful, and understand that his daughter is a big country music singer on her way up. Her name, first name is Madison. I don't know if it's Madison Shore, or I don't know if it's it might be like a stage name of some sort. But I remembered Madison because we live in Madison, so we look forward to meeting her, and we will have some car business in this neck of the woods of all different sorts.
Any minute.
And we're already.
We're already. By the time you see this, hopefully the car business will be done.
Yeah.
And we're also we're looking. Gosh, we saw a great Mustang today. It was a 2017. Gosh, I don't know. Here, I'll tell you what. Here's a picture of it. So Tony put that picture of it. It was a great car, and I thought that's the kind of car that Mason and Dixon need to drive in the Earls of Perry. But then I thought, that might be more of a badass car than the one I'm driving. So I don't know. But this is a great car. We found this morning. What else was I going to... Oh, I want to thank the folks at Cummins here.
Oh, yes.
Because we had the generator serviced and the oil changed in the coach.
And we have to go grab a filter. They've got that.
Yeah, we have to run up there and grab a filter. That's an air filter that goes on the back. But want to thank them very, very much because they got us in right away. They got us out right away. And it was terrific. So everybody there at Cummins in Hazard, Kentucky, again, we want to thank you. We want to thank the great folks at the golf course. Because we were at the golf course the other day. We came back from, I don't think we talked about, no, we couldn't because it's...
Well, we're still sore from we are in the mountains. A golf course in the mountains is different than a regular golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get hilly, and I think there was one golf course that maybe rivaled it, but it's like this steep. I mean, we have to walk up, climb up because the balls are in a weird place, and I'm still a little sore.
The first 4 holes are where mountain goats play.
Oh boy, for sure.
It was great. It was great.
It's fun.
They were great, and we had driven back from North Carolina. We were at Mike Wallace's wonderful daughter Lindsay's birthday party, and gosh, that was fun. And you posted that video of Mike dancing around like a pro,
20-year-old,
like a pro. Yeah, amazing.
Tom Cruise.
But we
all-time rock and roll.
Right, sliding in. Mm-hmm. But we drove back because we wanted to watch the Masters at the golf course. And by the time we got there, everyone was gone except, oh my goodness, I don't know her name. Shoot.
She's got red hair and she's really nice.
She's wonderful.
And she stayed with us and she let us watch, and that was really great. So thank you.
And the kids were out not in the car with the windows down. The kids were out with Grandma playing.
And we didn't really know that to begin with.
We didn't know that until the end. But then, of course, we're waiting. Okay, so the Masters should be over any minute. And then they tied. It got into sudden death. So now we said, they just have to play one more hole. Can we stay and watch? And then, of course, if you're a golf fan, you saw that Rory McIlroy won. And I think that is great. And I love to watch on YouTube. The golf community, professional and amateur and hack like me, all alike, are congratulating Rory.
Grand Slam
for winning. Now he's a Grand Slam, and he can't relax. Golfers can never really relax, but he did it. And you can watch some videos of Tiger Woods saying, "Look, he's got it in him. I know one of these days he's going to win." And now there are videos. I told you he was going to win, mm-hmm. And that he had it in him. So thank you for a very entertaining Masters, Rory, and everybody else. It was a whole lot of fun to watch. So, and then we played golf, and like Dee Dee said, we're still a little sore.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun.
Got to get that turn going. Golf is weird. You have to leave your feet and your head in one place and move your torso. Doesn't make any sense. None at all.
But as we were talking and folks were mentioning, that it really is a game of pair. It's tough. It's a tough game.
Well, yeah, and case in point with that, I tell people it's very hard for me to recover from a good shot. And what does that mean? That means you hit the ball, whack, and everything is right, and it goes where you want it, and maybe even a little further, a little straighter. And then you got it in your head, oh, I can do that again, and then the next shot is, tew, tew. Or sometimes you can manage, I don't know how this is possible, but you hit a ball that actually winds up behind you. Don't know how that's possible, but it happens. Sometimes you hit a tree, sometimes you just hit it so weird. Okay, what's going on in the world?
Well, Easter's coming up, so that's a big deal.
Easter is a big deal.
A lot
It
of
is a very
families
big
getting
deal.
together, and Easter has a rich history. And just, and we even got eggs for one of our gifts. I want to go back to that. The folks that came to the concert and
The Weehaw family.
well, actually, they got us this pillow, and thank you, because I needed this pillow to prop up. Because a lot of people say, "Why are you always behind John?" John's a big guy, and it's not that I'm skinny or little, but next to him, because he's gotten so big, I kind of am. So this pillow's helping me out.
Well, scoot up to the front.
You're a big muscle man. You are. That
Just a camera hog.
That electrocution suit is working. You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Love
and
it.
You look great.
Love my electrocution suit.
I mean, you definitely could play Reacher's dad.
I'm going to go on.
Or uncle. Or brother.
No, his brother's dead, and his dad, I think, is gone. It has to be.
There's a storyline.
Yeah. I've got Dee Dee listening to a Jack Reacher book as we drive around called Tripwire. If you haven't listened to or read any of the Reacher series, and you are a fan of what do they call it? Procedural crime drama with a fair amount of military thrown in there, then check out the Reacher series. Lee Childs is great. And the series, we love the series. The series is really good, because he was Aquaman. I know we already talked about that. But what do you think about, I was so excited to see, and not surprised because he said he was going to do it. I was so excited to see the funding because of the anti-Semitic behavior on the campus, protected anti-Semitic behavior on Harvard's campus. I was excited to see that Trump said, "Look, you keep that up, then I'm yanking the federal funding." They kept it up, and he yanked the federal funding. What do you think of it? You think that's too big of a tool?
Boy, you're really putting me in a bad position. You know why? So I was working on my master's for Harvard, Harvard Extension, and then it was for dramatic arts. And this is sort of a side note, but it's hard for me to comment on the school because I have a lot of classes.
Some other school. Just imagine a school.
But anyway, I'm still working on my master's, and they discontinued the dramatic arts. So we're trying to make that work. Anyway, but you should never.
Why would you discontinue dramatic arts in a liberal college?
That's what I was getting at. I don't get it.
I mean, people in dramatic arts are pretty damn liberal, so I don't understand.
So we have our friend, just real quick, Ben Bolger, who's had like more degrees than anybody. He's in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Right, and he's kin to Ray Bolger, the Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm. Great guy. And we're trying to figure out a way for me to finish at another school or there or whatever, but it'll probably be in another school. Anyway, so schools that are funded by the government absolutely should not be allowed to be anti-Semitic or encourage or allow or tolerate at all.
Anti-Semitism?
How could you do that? That's really not teaching a good lesson to the students. So yeah, I think Donald Trump's right for sure.
And we were talking about this also today because it's Easter. Neither one of us have. It sounds so cliche, but some very good friends of mine are transgender. That's probably going to shock a bunch of you, some of you, and it may piss some of you off. I don't care. These are wonderful people. I've known them on both sides of that decision. But when an administration takes an existing religious holiday like Easter and removes it, and that had to be intentional. I mean, by golly, you want to have a day, then have a day. Let's get a petition. Let's get things going, and make a day. But don't take Easter.
Not on
Easter. Don't take Christmas. Don't take any. I don't believe you should take any existing holiday. I really, really don't. There are 365 days in a year, and I guess every day is something. Please don't take National Donut Day. Don't take National Donut Day for many reasons. The apple fritter, and also for
You've been talking about donuts a lot lately.
I know. I think I
wanna
need
get
an apple fritter. I think I need an apple fritter. Yeah, but the Masked Singer as well. So I have a heart for donuts.
and runner up here, but you should have won.
But I think you said you thought that maybe one of the things I said on Newsmax was going to get me in trouble again.
Well, the transgender, I think if people wanted to, it's kind of like the Biden thing when they talked about he wanted an assassination. He never did.
I never said that.
He didn't say that. The media, not all media, but some media, if they want to twist it, they can. So they twisted it and made a big old bugaboo about John saying that, which he did not.
Did you say bugaboo?
I did. And John did not. And then they're saying, no, the Secret Service came to visit him. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Because John did not threaten the president. He did
and
not
I
do
didn't
that.
call Beyonce a dog. It's just ridiculous, Harvey.
But
I'm a lawyer. Screw you.
I like him, though.
I like him too, but screw you, Harvey. You listen to
that
what I said. Why in the world why you allowed one of your interns to put words in my mouth? I have no idea why. I thought you had more integrity than that.
But they will do that.
Or I thought you watched your flock closer than that. How about that? Maybe you were deceived too.
Anyway, so John, will here and there get into some trouble with saying just a few words. The whole interview is beautiful and wonderful, and just one little thing. And I was like, oh gosh, I hopefully they won't just pick that out because the interview was so wonderful. John did such a great job, and then they take the one little thing that they want to make controversy with.
Maybe they won't, but maybe now that we've underlined it, they'll pay closer attention. So shame on me for bringing it up.
I mean, I believe
bringing it up. Oh my God.
Conservative to libertarian, meaning like you should be able to love whoever you want and do whatever you want. I don't care. Don't force it on kids. Like in schools, it is saying, well, yeah, that's not good. I don't think. I think you have to let kids be kids and try to be cool and neutral until they're old enough to make their own decisions. But we're cool with whatever people want to do in their own lives as long as they're not hurting others. So that's kind of our mantra.
Right. I had somebody tell me years ago, this changed my mind, and this was during my really explosive Christian phase. Whenever you go through something, you go through different phases. God's still the same. Jesus is still the same. We're still the same. But there's things that you do. And a friend of mine I was doing a movie with was having a really rough time. He has gotten divorced, and his family just was having a really rough time. This was a great guy. And someone said to him, look, I really would like to help you, and maybe find someone for you to have dinner with and enjoy each other's company. This was before cell phones and all that kind of stuff, so it wasn't like there was no what it was
back in the olden days.
Tinder, yeah, back when the picture was taken on the wall. But she said to him, but I honestly don't know whether I should find a woman or a man for you. And I was listening to this conversation. I said, well, that's really an honest, wonderful question. And I'm, thinking, well, and I know what the answer should be. And here's what he said. He said, at this point in my life, if someone would love me, I don't care which they are. He missed being loved. Mm. And at that moment, I thought, you know what? Who am I to tell anybody who can love them or who they can love?
It's none of our business.
It's none of our businmy and if all you need is love, if that's true, and I believe it's true, I believe God is love. So then I had my entire perspective on that changed. And it's remained changed since then. I'm still who I am, and I don't know who this person wound up with. I have no idea. None of my business. I just hope and pray that he is happy.
America is free. I mean, that's what the problem is with a lot of other countries. Well, they'll hang you for something like that or kill you. I mean, it's terrible. So in America, you have.
But don't take Easter. That had to have been a decision, because somewhere in that thought process, somebody had to say, well, sir, that's Easter. But that's a pretty big deal. And then somebody had to say, then screw them. We're going to tell you we're going to do it on Easter.
And let them know why. This was during the Biden administration, and they made it that day on Easter.
Yeah, and that had to been had been on
Like,
purpose
really, you're going to do that
to
on
try
Easter?
to what do they say? Poke the bear with a very short stick.
Well, it's like Columbus Day and Indigenous people. That's a big fight too. Italians do not like that, obviously.
No, they don't like that.
And I think
And should
Indigenous
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Indian who calls themselves an indigenous person.
well,
Now
I
maybe I don't get out enough, but I think we get out quite a
yeah,
bit.
but I don't mind that day, but don't do it on
Don't take Columbus Day away.
to try to like poke them, like you said.
Yeah,
It's like,
poke a bear with a
but
very
that's what
short
they're
stick.
doing. That's what they want to do, and they're going to keep doing it.
It's on purpose. Excuse me, I still haven't figured out how to drink with this mustache. It's on purpose, it's antagonistic, and its nature, as far as I'm concerned, I believe its nature is to start an argument. It's kind of like, what is that trick question in court? When did you stop beating your wife? I never did. No, I can answer the question. Never? Okay, so you've never stopped beating your... Oh, my God. It's just mental masturbation. Sorry. That's what it is. I know I use that word. I shouldn't have said mental. It's like I told people, we had a great show last week, and I think we talked about it, but it was so great. Cody McCarver and the Stars and Bars band and Keith Burns. It was so wonderful.
And we're going to put it online. We're trying to figure out exactly.
We got to figure out how to do that. Yeah.
I've been given the information, but today I'm going to figure it out, and we'll post it today or tomorrow.
I figured it out.
So you all can. We figured it out. Not the Addams Family.
I know, but it's awfully close, isn't it? Isn't it? So look, everybody, it's Easter week, so love one another. Love one another. If you disagree with people, that's fine, because I'm sure people disagree with you. I'm used to it. A lot of people disagree with me. It doesn't change how I feel unless they say something like that gentleman did all those decades ago that just made my perspective shift. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So if you be open, have your heart be open to having your mind changed. Also, have your mind be open to be able to put your views and opinions in such a way that you may change other people's minds. But don't beat them over the head with a stick. Nobody wants to be beaten over the head with a stick. You know, nobody is right. What is that wonderful old saying? There's three sides: your side, my side, and the truth. So
I don't know if I agree with that, because sometimes your side is the truth and sometimes theirs is. But there's always, maybe, it's usually a little bit of both, probably.
But be open to hear it.
Yes.
What's that wonderful biblical standard?
Sure.
Those who have ears to hear, hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the other, I've used this a couple times lately, there's no one so blind as those who will, that's the important word, none so blind as those who will not see. It doesn't say cannot see. It says will not see. You refuse to change your mind. You refuse to change your perspective.
So what's your favorite Easter food? Like the Easter meal, what do you like?
Oh, gosh.
Did your family do like big Easter celebrations or not really?
We did. We
have
did.
Easter eggs and...
We always had kind of the same. Oh, we did the Easter egg thing. And then when the kids were small, we hid the Easter eggs. And my eldest daughter, look what time it is. My eldest daughter would be the one that would go out and hide the Easter eggs as you know, as she stopped being a little one. Then she would go hide the Easter eggs, and it was great. But you know, the sad things, I don't think we ever really ate the hard-boiled Easter eggs. Anyhow,
I think a lot of people don't. I mean, I didn't either.
I get Easter food kind of mixed in with Thanksgiving food. I mean, I think we ate. What is it? What is Easter food?
Ham.
Nobody eats a bunny.
Ham.
You don't eat the bunny.
No, you do not eat the bunny. Oh, it's terrible. But it's usually ham and just a nice spread.
It's the mascot of Easter.
The pig?
No, the bunny.
Ham's pig. No, we're not. Nobody
The
ate a
bunny. I know. Why not? How come a turkey is the mascot of, you know, hey, it's great news. We've got a holiday. And you are the mascot. Yeah, you're coming for dinner. I mean, you're coming for dinner, really, but not how you think.
This could stir up controversy, but I love history, so I'm going to go there for a second. So Easter. Now, if I get this wrong, I apologize, because history can, you know, it's kind of however you read it. But it kind of started with the fertility holiday. I mean, I'm sorry, but
that's why it's a bunny.
That's what I was getting at. So St. Patrick and dealing with the pagans and dealing with Celts and dealing with folks that, they thought of it as a fertility holiday. That's where you get the eggs. That's where you get the bunnies. That's where, a lot of that stuff comes from. So whenever you're trying to pull people into the church, hey, we've done that from the beginning of the time for the Christian church, trying to pull folks in. They thought, okay, well, let's combine it to a certain degree. And I apologize if I get it wrong at all. But hello, bunnies, eggs, it's
But even as a kid, I wondered about
That's
the
why.
bunny. I wondered
That's
two
why.
things. How come we don't eat rabbit?
They're quite fertile.
I know, but they don't
Rabbits
lay
do that.
eggs. They don't lay eggs.
No, but eggs show fertility too. It's a symbol of fertility. And that's not unchristian. It's just that the Christians are trying to bring the pagans in, and that was a way of doing
Well, they're
it.
trying to make it more attractive.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they're not like, come in.
And the
come
goddess
in.
was called Ostera, Easter. So, you've got all that going on.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I love history.
You
It's
do
fun.
have a history degree.
And in Time Tunnel, I was sharing with John some of the history of that.
Boy.
But back to Easter real quick. What's your favorite Easter candy?
They're the little Easter eggs that are really, I think they're almond.
Mott balls?
Almond.
Oh.
No, I love. Oh God,
Those are
that's
good.
one of the reasons why
I like those.
That's one of the reasons why I was a 250-pound 15-year-old. Is because if I opened up that, remember the big, I don't know if they have them anymore, but it was like a milk carton of malted
gosh.
milk
They're
balls.
so
I would eat the whole damn thing. I couldn't. It was like popcorn. But they make a little almond, a little yogurt covered. No, it's hard candy covered almond.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Probably not really
And it is
good for
hard
your
candy,
teeth.
And it is almonds, and you're right.
But I love those, and I tried. It was kind of like the lollipop, like the Tootsie Roll Pop. I would try to put one of those in my mouth.
No way.
and work it down. Just kind of let the candy part dissolve. I never made it, not once, not once. And I never did that. I never got to the Tootsie Roll center of the Tootsie Roll Pop without fighting. Did you?
No, definitely not. I don't have the patience for that. John's got more patience than I do. I don't.
Gotta hurry up and get me some patience.
But I'm not much of a sweets person. But when in Rome or when in Easter, you got to do a little bit. So I kind of like to have like one of those marshmallow eggs that are covered in chocolate. Like to get like one.
Yeah, I don't like those.
You don't?
No, I don't like those. That's like that weird orange color Halloween.
Ooh, the peanuts. Ugh. Oh
yeah,
no,
it looks like a peanut.
corn.
No, it looks like I like candy corn.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But the peanut, it looks like a peanut. Yeah, I don't know what
That's
that
circus
is.
peanuts. That's not really how. I guess it is.
Yeah, no.
That is the worst. Circus peanuts. I don't know how they're still in business. Those are gross.
Is it, well, I'm cotton candy gives me the heebie-jeebies too. So I don't know.
Do you like jelly beans? Jelly beans are good on
I
Easter.
like jelly. Yeah, I like jelly bean. Remember when the Harry Potter jelly beans came out?
Mm-mm.
You don't want to know.
Were they gross?
Oh my God, they were intentionally gross, and they sold a lot of jelly beans. I'm not even going to mention the flavors.
Somehow I kind of miss that whole Harry Potter thing. But here's my question:
J.K. Rowling, amazing story.
Does anyone out there would they blow up the Peeps in a microwave? Because everybody would talk about putting the Peeps in a microwave. Do they blow up?
What is a peep?
What?
What is a peep? Is it a candy?
Bop bop. They're Oh my.
Put chickens in a microwave? Live chickens in a microwave? What are you talking about?
Peep. Bop,
Peep,
bop.
peep, peep. What is
They're
it?
little yellow, like ducks or whatever, or birds or chickens or something. Peeps. Oh my gosh.
Peep.
All right. Well,
I don't know what a peep is. If you know what a peep is, please tell me.
they all know what a peep is. Well, clearly I don't, because I'm saying they're a chicken or a duck or something.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is, because it's
But I
something
know what they look like.
with feathers.
And in Easter, they've got the yellow peeps and purple peeps and pink peeps. And I think people put them in the microwave and they just like boil over or they blow up or something. I don't know. But Easter is big on candy, like Halloween. And you always get the weird Halloween candy and Easter candy, but the kids love it. They get the Easter baskets. I always thought that was cool to get the Easter basket and they do it all up. And I always have the same one every year for a really long time.
Yeah. But the green plastic straw always bothered me.
What green?
It's in the Easter in the basket. It's usually green plastic straw.
I don't remember a green plastic straw in the Easter basket. What are you talking about?
What did you put the eggs in? Straw.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah, you put the eggs in straw, but a lot of times it was like
Okay.
green plastic. Let's
Yeah.
move on to something else,
Hey,
shall
but
we?
that is
What
important stuff because people love food, people love the deal.
people love?
But one more thing. Did any of you all do the Easter Bunny cake? Because I love that. I thought that was so much fun because you took two round, like, cake things, like single
Oh,
layer
a cake.
cake.
Yeah.
So you do the round part for the face, and then you cut like two, like, quarter moons or whatever, or half moons, and that would be the ears, and then in the middle would be the bow tie. And then you'd put jelly beans or gumdrops for the eyes, and then you'd have the.
Do you have any
Did
photographic proof of any of this?
everybody knows this? You didn't do it, Easter Bunny cake.
Everybody knows. We didn't do an Easter bunny cake, no.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure out how bunnies lay eggs.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Well, speaking of cakes, we're going to be in Madison next Tuesday, and there's a cake auction for Main Street, and it's a cake auction.
Are we going to do the Easter bunny cake?
No.
Oh, good.
Too late.
I'd like to see. Oh, no, we already ordered
Next
the cake.
year. No, but we're going to. We have asked for a Dukes of Hazzard cake, and
Yeah.
our friend Vanessa, good, and she does that kind of thing. She's a chef, and she does that stuff, and we'll see what she comes up with. No pressure. But we'll be back in Madison soon. We miss Madison. It's been a long time since we've been there. Mayor Bob's awesome.
Been a very long
Our
time.
Mad Love friends are awesome. Kim and Jeff.
Yeah,
We got a lot of friends
Mad
here.
Paddle. We also want to Mad Love, Mad Paddle. We also want to go and do little duck pin bowling.
I can't wait.
That's going to be great.
Vintage Lanes, I believe what's
I
called.
think it's called Vintage Lanes, but we're going to be at that great hotel for the cake.
Oh yeah,
What is it?
Fairfield Inn.
Fairfield Inn.
And then Chandler's that have the Chandler Hotel, they did the duck pin bowling. I can't wait to go. And I think Madison is a lot like Hazard. I think Hazard is the mountain version of Madison. Everybody's sweet.
I agree. I think you're absolutely right. Yep.
It's beautiful.
Everybody's
and
sweet.
The people are nice and very community oriented, and the businesses are great. So yeah, we're looking forward to going home. We're having a great time in Hazard.
And we love the golf course at home too, so we're going to do that. And I want to thank the folks that gave me the beautiful gifts and the gift card,
yes.
Because I took that gift card and I turned it into a 5 hybrid rescue club and a 7 fairway wood. If you don't play golf, you don't know what those are. But I got those 2 clubs. Thank you to my wonderful friends out there.
Because one of them broke.
When my 5 wood broke, I didn't hit anything with it. It just broke. I guess it got
So
old.
Stacy brought it. I guess Phyllis puts it together every year. Mary Lou's involved in it, and a lot of other folks.
Thank you.
All money,
all y'all.
give money and put it together for John, and it was amazing. It was huge, and it had all these movies that I've not seen. So it was really
And our blankets, we got blankets.
Well.
It's just wonderful.
We got so much.
So many great
John
things.
did, but still, I mean, it's really great to have so many wonderful friends, and you all came. You came a long way to see John in concert at Hazard, and just so you all know, we've got big things planned. Cannot get into the details yet, but we've got concerts. We've got TV. We've got movies. It's all coming together, but we're trying to just be particular about what we do, and we are, but it's all coming together very nicely.
But the boys, the Stars and Bars band, and Cody and Keith, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff in the future. So watch. And I almost have. Maybe by the time, if this is after Easter, I may have the app up and running again. So check it out. Go to the App Store, and if you had it before, I think it'll still work. You might have to re-download it, but it's just called John Schneider. It's at the App Store. It has, of course, a link to the store. It has a link to the calendar, so you can know everything that's going on. It'll have a link to the podcast. It's really quite terrific. So I saw this morning. It broke my heart. Actually, broke my heart. I saw I think it was a ZR1 Corvette doing a drag race, quarter-mile race against a Tesla, and the Tesla kicked its ass. Kicked its ass. And that broke my heart on many levels. But way to go, Elon. Way to go. We so appreciate. I know there's a lot of people out there that are giving Elon Musk a hard time.
And they're destroying Teslas. That's what should break your heart. That is insanity. People leave people's property alone.
Yeah, I mean they're keying Teslas in parking lots. Crazy. They're going to Tesla dealerships and writing nasty, why in the world would you think that, why would you compare Elon Musk, who basically is he put together a team of forensic auditors, that's all they are, who come into an existing organization and say, here's where you're wasting money. And guess whose money they're wasting? Ours. So here's where so why would that be the bad guy? So why are you calling this man a Nazi? Why are you calling this man names? This is a fellow who has used his wits, his wisdom, his connections, yes, but this is a man that went into space and saved the United States astronauts. Why is he the bad guy? Would somebody please tell me why in the world anybody thinks Elon Musk is the bad guy?
He's uncovering money that is being laundered, or it's being abused, or it's being stolen, or, and people don't like it. And a lot of those folks...
I understand why the higher-ups don't like it, because they're the ones doing the stealing.
You're talking about the folks that are...
Talking about the people that are keying cars and writing swastikas on Tesla dealers.
That hurts the owner of the dealer. Do you think that Elon Musk is affected by that? They already bought it.
He's not in there turning a wrench.
No.
But honestly, I think he would be. I think he would. I just think he's a guy that would help. I think he would help you dig a post hole. And that's my biggest compliment I can give any celebrated person is, I've said it about Reba. I've said, Reba, we disagree about a lot of things, but I tell you what, if you're in trouble and Reba knows it, she'll come help. Garth Brooks, the same thing. I couldn't disagree more with somebody's politics. But I tell you what, if he was digging a post hole and I drove by, I'd help him, and he would do the same for me. But I don't understand, because we now know, because hello, Teslas all have cameras on them. So it's not like you can go vandalize a Tesla and have nobody know who you are. Or go right on a building. There are such things as security cameras. These are not high upper echelon politicians. These are not the people who stole the money. These are just
in other words,
people who are misinformed, I think.
People. There's no reason for you to take it out on these folks.
Well, it's the wrong people taking it out on the wrong people.
Silly. Yeah, it's all silly.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. So give the guy a break, for crying out loud. He is shedding light on tremendous either mismanagement or outright graft and thievery. The courts will figure out what that is. But look, 2 and 2 is not 1,047, okay? There are no 300-year-olds living in the United States of America. So if somebody comes in and says none of this adds up, don't shoot the messenger. He didn't do it. He just uncovered it. Okay? So stop. And I don't think anybody who watches this is part of that group, but I would love to know why people do that. Why are people who oppose something the bad guy? If I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Well, on another note.
Yes, please, change my tune.
So President Trump had his physical, and really it seemed like the only thing that came out of it is he might have some skin cancer or some lesions. So I had the same thing, and that's why, again, I'll go back to the hat thing, because I love hats. And you see them, and I'm not bald, but some like, is she bald? No, I like them. It's a fashion statement.
All real.
And
what did Trump say? Look, it's all.
But again, that all started with having skin cancer in my hairline when they had to cut pretty deep. It was not fun. And I think I actually have another one. And, we've got good doctors, so we'll figure that out. But wanting to do hat giveaways or maybe a hat fundraiser, and that came up again after President Trump had the lesions. I'm like, look, skin cancer is a big deal. I mean, you can treat it easily, but you've got to treat it soon. So thank you for your suggestions on that. And I really want to do something like that and figure out a way to do a hat giveaway. I mean, they don't all have a brim, but there are some fun ones. And John would love for me to
they're all fun.
John would love for me to get rid of a few of them because
Only about 1,500.
I have a lot. I do. So thank you for your suggestions of that. We'll do something. We'll figure it out. But if you all have any specifics,
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. What's
Yep.
the rest of the words?
With a pencil and a pen, I'll figure it out. That's from Pajama Game.
But yeah, so thank you for that. And any of the suggestions you have. And again, John, why don't you give the 30-second PSA about the scammers?
About the scammers, yeah. There's scammers now every time I post anything on Facebook, there are people in there warning you about scammers who are in fact scammers, okay? So I'm not going to ask you to donate.
Never.
Well, wait a minute. No, I did ask if you couldn't show up at the concert last week. I did say go to the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky.
But nothing on our website.
And not going to do that. I'm not on Telegram. One day I may be. I don't even know what Telegram is.
No.
One of these days I may be on Telegram. But if somebody says, hi, I'm John Schneider's
personal assistant, manager, they use anything and everything. It's not. John's got one Facebook page. And
it's got me with a beard in Monument Valley and us in front of a theater somewhere. Now I may change those pictures, but just be careful. And with AI now, I've actually heard of people having conversations with me. It's not me. We use up 26 hours every day. So I've got friends who are angry with me, who I've known for 40 years, that I haven't talked to on the phone in a long time. I haven't talked to my family on the phone in a long time. I would love to have an hour or 2 or 4 hour conversation with my brother.
So when people say, hey, contact me, we'll have a chat, John Schneider is not doing that. There's no time to do that.
Yep. Love to go see my brother Mark too. I want to go play golf. It's just tough. But so don't fall for that. So again, if you see it, if I do a post and then somebody comments,
within
the scammer is usually a comment on the comment. Okay? And it usually starts with some BS apologetic. Oh, I'm so sorry to ask you this, but I've tried to friend you so many times and I keep getting kicked back. So please, if you don't mind, would you blah, 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 blah. Stay away. Okay, I want to change the subject back 1 second. We have 1 minute.
I just want to say Happy Easter again. But
Happy Easter. We love you. God bless you. But the skin cancer thing, I mean, everything is in moderation, okay? So I happen to know that one of the biggest fighters of cancer is vitamin D. Vitamin D comes from the sun. So it doesn't, it doesn't.
Moderation.
Moderation. It's okay.
And the skin, on the.
It's okay to go outside without a hat. Sometimes it's okay to go out. It's okay to soak up vitamin D. It's not okay to get burned. When I was a kid, we used to have competitions about how big a piece of skin you could flake off. I know it's terrible, but that's what we did. We didn't have cell phones and the internet, so we had to figure out our fun somewhere. But don't be afraid of the sun. Okay, the sun is not your enemy. The sun, regarding health, is actually one of your best friends. That's why folks who are in a assisted living environment or so are encouraged to go out in the sun a couple of times a week, because you soak it in. The fresh air is wonderful. The sun is wonderful. Just everything in moderation. That's all. Okay. All right. I just don't want you to lock yourself in a room like a mushroom and like you got beautiful sun on your arms from playing golf. It's great and it's healthy. All right. Burning, not healthy. Okay. We've got 14 seconds left. Anything else you want to say?
Just want to say we love you all. Thank you for coming to the concert. It went to a good cause, all the money. Happy Easter, and I love you.
I love you too. Happy Easter. Go check out, see if the app is working. It's John Schneider. Woo! That's the timer.
Time's up.
Woo, woo, woo. This has been Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.